Oh, welcome back to Gaslight MMA, your favorite MMA personality who has a personality. All right, let's get into it. Guys, looking at this photo here, you may be thinking I am anti-Volk and that I need to get off of Ilia Topuria's big, fat, juicy, pulsing pickle. I am not a big Ilia Topuria fan, just a little bit. I went to the barber the other day. As you can see, I told him to give me the Ilia Topuria cut, and he did exactly that because he knows Ilia Topuria. Everyone knows Ilia Topuria now. So I'm a little bit of a fan, maybe. I think I just contradicted myself. Anyway, we need to save Alexander Volkanovski, guys. We need to save this man, all right? Because he is on a road of the Tony Ferguson road. He's on Tony Ferguson's road, on his path, and it is not good. All right? A lot of you may have forgotten what happened to Tony Ferguson. That's okay. I will quickly tell you in about 10 seconds. Tony Ferguson, 2020, great year. He, I believe, stepped in on short notice. It was the first pay-per-view event in 2020. It was May. He stepped in on against Justin Gaethje. I think Justin Gaethje's original opponent pulled out, so Tony Ferguson came in on short notice. Everyone expected Tony Ferguson, the boogeyman, to make short work of Justin Gaethje. Well, what ended up happening was it appeared Tony Ferguson was like as if he was tied to the cage, and just the whole like 25 minutes just boom, 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 and just Tony just getting popped in the face, bleeding everywhere, blood everywhere. So much so to the point that Tony Ferguson's body would not engage with Justin Gaethje anymore, and it just involuntarily just backed away. And like, it was funny because Herb Dean noticed this weird bodily response by Tony Ferguson and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna call this right here." Like, yeah. Ever since then, Tony Ferguson has been on like an 8-fight skid, or even more. I forget. I'm afraid this will happen to Volkanovski. So really quickly, I'll show you some photos, what I mean. This was the head kick that started it all against Islam. Here's some pictures of Volk getting beat by Ilia. Not good. Here's another angle of the head kick. This is hard to see. Just his face, dude. With Ilia about to hit him with the One Punch Man punch. Jeez, dude. He's like loading up for that. And then this is the worst one of them all, guys. Holy shit. Yeah. Absolutely nothing in the face there. Guys, I show you these pictures because CTE is a thing, and a lot of fighters talk about how fighters aren't the same anymore once their chin is gone. Like if they have a chin, once they get clocked and they get taken out, they're never the same again. And this is twice now. Oh, I forgot this one. If you guys remember this, it's probably hard to see. I screenshotted it. This was when, after the head kick, which I showed earlier, after the head kick, Islam followed up with kindly putting Volkanovski's head on his knee while he just hammer fisted him into oblivion. So guys, like I said, CTE is a real thing. Not being the same after one or two horrible fights, like for Tony Ferguson, the example I gave, it can really derail you. And ever since, right now, I thought he was on a 3-fight losing streak, Alexander Volkanovski. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. I forgot that he fought Yair Rodriguez, the crybaby. But Islam, head kick and hammer fists. And then Ilia's right hook just a couple months later, because if you guys remember, Volkanovski was like, "Oh, I don't know what to do with myself when I'm not fighting, even though I have a family and kids. I don't know what to do with myself. And it's 2024 and there's so many hobbies you can do. I don't know what to do with myself. I need to fight or else I'm not okay." So then he came back and, wow, this is what will end your career right here. 2 brutal knockouts. So he wants to come back and fight Ilia Topuria. We're gonna show some videos, all right, guys. Now, in these videos, he talks about coming back, and we get Ilia's response too. He talks about coming back because it just would not make sense for him to, like, why does he need to fight one more fight to get back to the title? It's like, it's not that you need to fight one more fight to get back to the title. Like, you are deserving of it because you were so dominant. But it's that what people are saying is, like, people aren't arguing you're not deserving. People are saying you won't beat Ilia. And it's not only you'll lose, you're going to accumulate more brain damage if it's a 5-round war, and or get KO'd brutally. All right. And if this is your third brutal KO loss in a row, you're done, kid. As Alex says, like, done. You're done. It's over for you. It's done. Over for you. I don't have good impressions, guys. So let's just go to what Ilia first says about Alexander Volkanovski. And before we get into it, feel free to like and subscribe. My 45 followers, if we can get 45 up to 1.2 million, I think we can convince Volkanovski to not take this fight. Oh, fuck.
And obviously you went, Volk came into the cage afterwards, and I know you don't want to be thinking about another fight yet. You want to celebrate and enjoy this. We spoke to him afterwards, and he was saying he doesn't want to wait that long. But I did notice you came out on crutches originally. I don't know if there's any pain there.
I'm sorry, but right now he's going to have to wait to my time.
Yeah.
Right now I'm the one who chooses the time, the place, and I choose everything. Right now I'm the champion, he's the challenger, so he can take...
And he respected that.
Yeah, and I respect him too. Yeah. He deserves the shot. Yeah. No one else deserves more the shot in the featherweight division than Volk. He defended his belt for 7 times. He's been a legend champion, a great champion, so he deserves that shot again, and we're gonna give him the shot.
After being the first person to knock out Max Holloway, you're still walking around with the BMF title. Does this officially make you the BMF? Does that replica title become the real BMF title?
For me, for myself, I just knock him out.
He gets followed up with a dumb question. You just beat the BMF. Does that make you a BMF? No shit. Anyway, he says Volk deserves it. Volk does deserve it. I agree with it, but I still feel like Ilia is saying, yeah, I want to fight Volk because he knows Volk has absolutely nothing for him. Volk, I guess, can wrestle, but he's not known as some submission artist or some wrestling Dagestani god. He's not known for that either, and Volk's striking isn't known for any super special thing either. He just was very durable and well-rounded, and had a good fight IQ. But Ilia's the best boxer in the UFC probably right now, and has good wrestling. He's Georgian, so, well, with that logic, maybe he has bad wrestling if we're considering Merab here, if we're comparing it to him, because he's Georgian. Anyway, so that was Ilia's accepting Volk's challenge and that he's next. All right, on the Ariel Helwani show. Pull this up.
Credit Alex right off the bat. I love the way you handled Fight Week. No one does this better than you. You make your presence felt. Videos of you going up, letting everyone know I'm here, shaking hands with Ilia, shaking hands with Max. That felt very deliberate, like letting them know, hey, much love, much respect, but I'm here, I am next, I'm waiting. Was that done on purpose on your part?
Yeah, of course it was. I've been told I was next, but I want to go over there and make sure of that, and let everyone know at the same time. I wanted to be respectful with it. So actually, how that happened, I guess I'll give you a bit of the inside.
Please.
I end up just letting the boys know, Hunter and Dana. I'm just like, let us go. I really want to get in the cage, and then they're like, okay, let us just let Dana do his thing first, do the belt, and we'll see what's happening from there. So when he come out, I think he was a little unsure. Look, his family was in there, which I totally understand, right? Like, he's like, look, man, I don't know, I want to give him his moment. His family's in there, I don't want nothing to happen. And I just have to sort of, tell Dana, look, I've been good with his family. He's got a beautiful family. I've actually been talking to them all week. I've even been hugging them, and I've been real cool with them. I go, look, nothing's going to happen. I'm going to go there, congratulate him, and just let everyone know I'm next. And then Dana's like, all right, no worries. So yeah, so it was good to have Dana and Hunter. Let that happen. Obviously, they don't usually like people getting in there. They've made that pretty they've been pretty vocal.
They like people getting in there. They like people getting in the cage. Don't let them fool you. Gosh, how many people? I remember when Brock Lesnar came in and just shoved DC across the octagon. Then that fight never happened. What was another one where they came? When Izzy came into the octagon against Drickus and called Drickus the N-word a bunch of times. That was a fun one. I know there's a lot more. They like it because it builds up the fight. Actually, that probably means they don't like it because we know the UFC now, they don't give a crap to promote anything, actually. So maybe he's actually right about that. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. Volk, you don't need to go in there. We don't care about you versus Topuria 2. We're not building that fight up. We don't care. We got the Middle East money.
Cool about that, but as they said, they don't really like saying no to some people. I've done plenty for them, and they've been great to me as well. So that's why I just wanted to go in there. I know this game can be crazy. You think you're next, and sometimes you just don't know. So I'm just like, hey, I want to go over there and make sure I'm next. So I just went in there and was able to get in there, shake hands with him, congratulate him on an impressive performance, and just let the world know that I'm next. I'm ready and keen to get in there.
Do you recall what he said to you, or even more what you said to him?
To Ilia?
Yeah, in that moment, what you guys were saying to each other.
Just congratulated him. Congratulate him, and he said most of it on the mic anyway. Just saying, obviously great champion. I definitely deserve the rematch, and I just before he said that, I'm just like, we'll make that happen. Just sort of wanted to be like, congratulations. Just we'll make sure. Just sort of let him acknowledge we're next, which he already did on the mic, and he was good. And then obviously just shook hands. And all respect, I know a lot of people. You're going to be unsure with how things are. Look, this is a business. Everyone knows how this game works. He does say some things, but he's a respectful kid.
Who cares if he's respectful? Like, say shit. Yeah, say some things. Build up the fights. Gosh. Guys, I can't tell you how annoyed I was with the meme. Not the meme, because I'm glad it got turned into a meme, but the find out Saturday night, baby. We're going to find out Saturday night, brother. It's like, I hate it. All right. We're in the next one. And make no mistake, guys, before I play this, and this is why I cannot stand Max Holloway. Guys, it's okay. I know a lot of you guys like Max Holloway. I could not stand Max Holloway. He's the type of guy that doesn't want to talk a lot of shit because he doesn't want the embarrassment if he loses. All right? I think he would talk shit, but then he's like, oh, if I lose, I'm going to look like a jackass and people won't like me as much. I need to be the good guy that everyone likes. I can't stand people like that, and that's what I viewed Max. I'm not a fan of Max Holloway, guys.
Got to ask you as well, when it comes to obviously the big Topuria Max Holloway fight, have the UFC spoken to you about a backup spot? Is that something you would at all be interested in if one of the guys has to pull out sort of leading into the fight now that we're getting closer to it?
Nah, again, that doesn't make sense. I mean, I'm not really a backup fight. I'm guaranteed next shot. If I was in a different.
Volk's holding his phone right now with this, and he's just shaking it everywhere. That's so annoying.
Position, right, where I'm like trying to make sure I'm next and all this sort of stuff, and just solidify myself as that next guy. Maybe I would go out of my way and do what I did earlier on in my career, but right now that just doesn't make sense. Because I am next, and I'm not. It's not. I don't know. I don't think I'm in a position to be back up for a featherweight fight, but I'm guaranteed. I was a.
Yeah, so you're saying it doesn't make sense for him to go fight someone else, then go back and fight for the belt for this point in his career, and he's had so many title defenses, he deserves to be next. I agree. Also, it's probably a money thing, too. I don't know. I forget if in title fights, I know the title holder gets pay-per-view points, I think I think sometimes the contender does and sometimes they don't. I forget. But if he does get pay-per-view points for the title fights, then yeah, why would he want to fight some number 2 or 3 guy to prove that he deserves a title shot when he already deserves it?
Reigning champ for quite some time, and just doesn't make sense.
I
But,
like it.
you know,
I remember when you were the backup that time and you were like driving over the border, cutting in the car. I think you've paid your dues for
Yeah.
the
Here's the
backup.
thing.
Yeah.
It's really weird because usually when we say people deserve a title fight, like we think of it as they can beat them. Like it's the opposite right now because we're saying some people are saying Sean Strickland doesn't deserve a rematch against Drickus right now, even though a lot of people had Sean winning that fight, and he has fought after that and beat Paulo Costa. You would think Sean does deserve the fight and he might beat him, but people are saying no, Sean doesn't deserve that fight. Give it to Hamza. But here, it's weird. It's like, yeah, Volk should be the one to fight next. He deserves it, blah, blah, blah. But he won't actually win, though. He still deserves it, even though we all know he's going to lose. It's very weird. I don't want to see a fight unless I know they can win. Even though I do still want to see this fight because, one, it's a guaranteed knockout. I think there's going to be a knockout of Volkanovski, which will be exciting. And even though I'll be sad, it'll be exciting. It's a knockout because, well, I guess that's just because Ilia's fighting. So Ilia could be fighting anyone, not just Volk, and there's going to be a knockout. But it's just going to be interesting to see the downfall of Volkanovski's career if he fights Ilia and gets knocked out again. Because I'm interested also if he goes in against his second fight against Ilia, what he'll look like after 2 devastating knockouts back to back. And then if he gets knocked out again, I really want to see what his career looks like after 3 devastating knockouts. That's why I'm kind of interested for that fight. I know it's so much crap I just said, but I'm a little bit interested, even though he's going to lose.
exactly right. You know what I mean? So I've done all that, and you know, I applaud the fighters that are going to try and do that and do the same. Right? That's what it takes. If you want to be the best, you want to you want to go out there and get to the top. You know, you got to do what you got to do. But yeah, I've done that. Now I'm in a position where I was decided to have a break. The UFC wanted me to have a break, and they said, look, let's just have a bit of a break, and we'll get you back in there. Obviously, I wanted it later this year. But that just didn't work out with the timing that Max and Ilia are fighting. So it's going to have to most likely be early next year.
Hey, just quickly on that fight, I know you're sort of picking Max here to win it, but what was your reaction when you saw Ilia? I guess he's playing some mental games here. He's telling Max Holloway, if you point at the mat in the last 10 seconds, I'm coming in and I'm going to knock you out. And if you do that from the first round, I'll knock you out in the first round. Do you actually believe Topuria's going to be doing that, or do you think he's just trying to get into Max's head to sort of adjust what his game plan will be going into this one?
Oh, well, of course he would love for Max to just point at the floor. And then, then there's, because we know Ilia's got great hands, right? So he would love to just stay in a boxing range. That's where he has his chance of landing that big shot, even though Max has got an incredible chin. But, I don't think Max is that silly. He knows that, like, I feel, I'm sure Max is looking at that, being like, yeah, I believe that you think you have to fight that way, the only way to beat me. Where Max is probably thinking I can beat you in many different ways. But Max, being Max, he's probably going to be winning and still do the same thing anyway.
Well, that didn't happen. Yeah, I thought Max was the best boxer in the UFC, baby. Yeah, Max didn't do that. He did his own little like bull flag thing, and then he didn't beat Ilia in a bunch of different ways. He got knocked out. They always say too, if you think Alex is gonna win this fight, they'd be like, "Oh, well, Alex was winning. Alex was winning his last fight, or Max was winning. And Max won the first round." And then I think Max was saying this, and Alex might have said this too, like, "Yeah, I was winning until I wasn't." Just because you were winning, Ilia might have planned that, taking his time, picking his shots. Maybe you were slightly ahead on the scorecards, but eventually, just like Max, Volkanovski got tagged a bunch of times and he would go back up against the cage. Max got hit went back up against the cage, and then Ilia jumps on them and starts pouring on the leather and catches them. They always get caught eventually, just because, oh, I was winning until I wasn't, or it was going good until it wasn't. Eventually, yeah, it wasn't. Just because someone beats you, it doesn't mean they had to be beating you the entire fight. You could be slightly ahead on some rounds, but then they could still beat you. They don't have to beat your ass 5 minutes of 5 rounds. Oh, all right, one more, guys. We got one more little clip here. If it'll load.
I'm just, went in there, shook hands with the bloke. I wanted to give him his moment, but let everyone know that I'm next. Let's just find that date.
Yeah, it's very nice of you to give him his moment, but I was wondering if we were going to get like a little stare down, maybe the mics would come on. Were you prepared for that? Were you thinking that might happen? I mean, it's kind of a weird situation to be in, right?
I told the UFC I wanted to go in, and they gave, obviously they let me do that, so that's I appreciate that. Dana, Hunter, thank you. But at the same time, he goes, I want to let him have his moment. I'll give him his moment. I've been respectful. He goes, his family's in there. I'm like, mate, I've been respectful. Right. I've been getting along. I've been hugging.
Basically, all this is I'm just showing you all the examples of it's basically Volkanovski's on a campaign, like a political campaign to get this fight, to get this rematch. There's so many interviews he's come out and been like, I'm the next one. I made sure to get inside that octagon to make sure he knows I'm the next in line. He's going hard for this rematch. If he needs to make a little bit more money in his lifetime, he should fight other bums in the featherweight division. He's probably on a good contract. He needs to fight some bums in the featherweight division, some easy 3-round fights maybe. Build up his name again. Get some Instagram followers. Just get some YouTube subscribers because he's got a YouTube channel. Just get some easy paychecks, because if you go in against Ilia Topuria for a little bit bigger paycheck and get your brain scrambled again, those easy fights down below the featherweight division for easy paychecks are gonna be tough fights now. Post Volkanovski versus Ilia 2. Those are gonna be tough fights now. Don't go down the Tony Ferguson path. You don't want the Tony Ferguson path. You don't want to get your brain scrambled and then your next 10 fights are just brutal losses or getting your arm twisted off against Dariush. And well, guys, I don't know what we can do. We should tweet at him or message him on Instagram or something like, hey, dude, unless you've got a solid game plan against Ilia Topuria, you should just let this one go for a while, because it's not worth the CTE, and it's not even, I don't know, like, say he doesn't get CTE from this. It's like, it's gonna, like, did you guys see the John Jones interview where he said, the more you get hit, there's a certain point where you just don't see things coming anymore. Like a punch coming to your face where you're usually able to avoid it with your reflexes. You just don't pick it up. You just sit there, then the punch hits you. That's why he tries to avoid getting hit as much as possible. This might be the case. It's going to be like Tony Ferguson, where Volkanovski is going to be fighting, I don't know, some number 4 guy in the featherweight division, number 5 guy, and he's going to lose because he's just getting pieced up on the feet by some average dude. And you're thinking, why is he not moving his head? Why is he not? Oh, wait, I need to go to 3 minutes in this video. 1:30. I do 1:30 here.
Abby, and I have to.
His family's in there.
Yeah, all right. So really quick, I'm going to skip ahead to 3 minutes in this video. There was something in this video that I wanted to show you. Let's listen to it together, guys. I'll go back to, hang on.
Better than I have seen previous. But that's the same Ilia. I've always known Ilia can throw hands, and he was a great fighter. But I still don't think he's shown me crazy amounts more. But always showed me some takedowns. I haven't really seen that. But I knew that holding Max was going to be hard. And he was able to do that and then still end up getting the knockout anyway. So, impressive.
Last question for you, and I mean, we can sit here and speculate.
Hang on. What did he say? So
I've
he's
always showed me some takedowns. I haven't really seen that, but I knew that holding Max was going to be hard, and he was able to do that, and then still end up getting the knockout anyway. So impressive.
yeah, so he's saying he hasn't shown me anything new after watching Max versus Ilia. Volk says Ilia did not show him anything new, really. He saw some takedowns and he knew holding Max would be hard. I don't know why. I don't think Max has a good ground game. But he says he held Max down. Yeah. So he hasn't shown me anything new. So basically, I don't know, he comes across as feeling confident. He knows what to expect. But he hasn't shown me anything new. It's like, what does he need to show you that's new, though? He's knocking you guys out. The featherweight legends, he's knocking out, dude. Yeah. He hasn't shown me anything new. Knocking out Max Holloway's new. I don't know. Like, I guess, yeah, what he says. Well, no, he did say he showed some wrestling and he kept Max down. So if you're thinking, I'll go wrestle him in our next fight. No. So he did technically show you something new, his wrestling. Showing, like, you might not want to wrestle with him, too. I don't know, guys. This is going to be a tough fight for him. I really do think this is not a winnable fight for him. And it's crazy to think. I don't even think this has anything to do with age. I think you could take, like, 32-year-old Volkanovski, and 32-year-old Volkanovski would still lose to Ilia Topuria. Just my honest opinion. Yeah. Like, subscribe. See you guys in the next one.